The waxwings are passerine birds classified in the genus Bombycilla. They are brown and pale gray with silky plumage, a black and white eye stripe, a crest, a square-cut tail and pointed wings. Some of the wing feathers have red tips, the resemblance of which to sealing wax gives these birds the common name. According to most authorities, this is the only genus placed in the family Bombycillidae, although Phainoptila is sometimes included. There are three species: the Bohemian waxwing, the Japanese waxwing and the cedar waxwing. Waxwings are not long-distance migrants, but move nomadically outside the breeding season. Waxwings mostly feed on fruit, but at times of year when fruits are unavailable they feed on sap, buds, flowers and insects. They catch insects by gleaning through foliage or in mid-air. They often nest near water, the female building a loose nest at the fork of a branch, well away from the trunk of the tree. She also incubates the eggs, the male bringing her food to the nest, and both sexes help rear the young. Waxwings appear in art and have been mentioned in literature. Description: waxwings are characterized by soft, silky plumage. They have unique red tips to some of the wing feathers, where the shafts extend beyond the barbs. In the Bohemian and cedar waxwings, these tips look like sealing wax, and give the group its common name. The legs are short and strong, and the wings are pointed. The male and female have the same plumage. All three species have mainly brown plumage, a black line through the eye and black under the chin, a square-ended tail with a red or yellow tip, and a pointed crest. The bill, eyes, and feet are dark. Calls are high-pitched, buzzing or trailing monosyllables. Diet: these are arboreal birds that breed in northern forests. The main food is fruit, which they eat from early summer through late summer and fall into late fall and winter. They pluck fruit from a perch or occasionally while hovering. In spring they replace fruit with sap, buds, and flowers. In the warmer part of the year they catch many insects by gleaning or in mid-air, and often nest near water where flying insects are abundant. Reproduction: waxwings also choose nest sites in places with rich supplies of fruit and breed late in the year to take advantage of summer ripening. However, they may start courting as early as the winter. Pairing includes a ritual in which mates pass a fruit of small inedible object back and forth several times until one eats it. After this they may copulate, so that many birds can nest in places with good food supplies. A pair does not defend a territory, perhaps the reason waxwings have no true song, but a bird may attack intruders, perhaps to guard its mate. Both birds gather nest materials, but the female does most of the construction, usually on a horizontal limb or in a crotch well away from the tree trunk at any height. She makes a loose, bulky nest of twigs, grass, and lichen, which she lines with fine grass, moss, and pine needles and may camouflage with dangling pieces of grass, flowers, lichen, and moss. The female incubates, fed by the male on the nest, but once the eggs hatch, both birds feed the young. Movements: they are not true long-distance migrants, but wander erratically outside the breeding season and move south from the summer range in winter. In poor berry years huge numbers can erupt well beyond the normal range, often in flocks that on occasion number in the thousands. Relationships: some authorities place some other genera in the family Bombycillidae along with the waxwings. Birds that are sometimes classified in this way include the silky flycatchers, the hippocoleus, and the palm chat. Recent molecular analyses have corroborated their affinity and identified them as a clade, identifying the yellow-flanked whistler as another member. Species: Bohemian waxwing, B. garrulus. Japanese waxwing, B. japonica. Cedar waxwing, B. cedrarum. Quotation: waxwings are mentioned in the first lines of the poem Pale Fire by John Shade. a fictional poet created by Vladimir Nabokov for his novel Pale Fire. I was the shadow of the waxwing slain by the false azure in the window pane. The waxwing identified in the commentary to Pale Fire is a fictitious species. The novel's narrator claims that John Shade's father had a waxwing named for him, Bombycilla.They, and in noting the name corrects the taxonomical error. The line, "I was the shadow of the waxwing slain," was also used in the song The Obituaries by the band The Men Singers. Waxwings are also mentioned in the song Autumn by Joanna Newsom. When out of the massing that bodes and bides in the cold west, flew a waxwing who froze and died against my breast, and all the while ran like a weed in the tide swans and lists.